all my brothers, all my sisters. It's your boy Mduduzi coming back to you with another video. You quickly lotion my hands, man, they kind of dry. But today is Wednesday, the 30th of April, you feel me? Last day of the month. And I feel like I have a very important topic I want to talk about. God's laws bring order. Yeah, let's get it, man. So, how this topic really came to mind is, I have to admit I've been falling short on my semen retention journey. And if I'm not wrong, today is day 2 of me retaining, right? And it's funny that always when I retain, order comes back into my life. When I return to doing things God's way, order comes back to my life. And I look at a lot of people's lives and they are in disorder, man. And basically, so that's the message. God's laws bring order. Right? I'm a big sermon watcher of Dr. Miles Monroe. And in one of his videos, right? And this is a playlist specifically for kingdom law. He talks about, in one video specifically, he talks about the words law and order are married. And I like the example he put forth. He said, when you move into a house, what you do is assign laws. So for example, if we look at, you have drawers, right? You assign, let's say you have 3 drawers. You assign different laws to the drawers. What I mean by that, okay, this drawer is specifically for socks and underwear. This drawer is for all my shirts. This drawer is for all other things. Let's say jewelry, whatever. And that brings order. Because if you put everything everywhere, what you'd find is, let's say you're looking for a pair of socks. You don't know where to look. Instead of, if you had order, right, you just go to where your socks and your underwear is and find the socks you're looking for. So, God's laws are very important in order to have order to your life. I'm going to name the 10 commandments of rip, if you feel what I'm saying. So number 1 is, this is a shortened version of all the commandments, but number 1, thou shalt have no other God before me. Number 2, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. Number 3, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Number 4, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Number 5, honor thy mother and thy father. Number 6, thou shalt not kill. Number 7, thou shalt not steal. Number 8, thou shalt not commit adultery. Number 9, thou shalt not bear false witness. And number 10, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods. So that's just like a shortened version, right? But like, if we look at all these commandments, they really bring order back into our lives. So I just want to talk about me personally, right? So, girls have been a big problem past couple of days in my life. And what I mean by that is, I have quite a few girls, right, who we just friends. But what I've seen is, these girls don't treat me like friends. And basically, knowing all that I know now, and I was also watching a Fresh and Fit podcast, and one other girl, she was saying like, She was describing the relationship between her and her male friend. And then Myron was on some, what do you do for your male friend? And she's like, nothing. That's the situation I find myself in. It's like all my female friends, they do nothing. If I don't talk to them, they're not gonna talk to me. It's just like the bare minimum. They're not gonna spend money on me. You know, it's like, yes, obviously, like if I make a plan, they will help out, but it's not like they don't do no initiating. They don't text me like a friend, right? Like, if you don't find me attractive, why are you still time delaying? You know what I'm saying? Why are you taking days to respond? It's all game, you know what I'm saying? It's all games, if I could say. So it's like, I'm in a position where I have these female friends, and I'm like, you know what? These female friends are doing the bare minimum. Like, so now that I have God's law, I think what applies best to my situation, right? For me, and what made sense is the law of thou shalt not bear false witness. So, you know, like, now it's up to me to be like, you know what, hey, this is how I'm feeling. You said you don't like me, right? And that's okay, but you're doing the bare minimum. So, oh yeah, I'm seeing another girl walk past. But hey, you say you don't like me, which is cool. We don't like each other. But right now you're doing the bare minimum as a friend. So, let's, you know, like, I'm going to cut this off until you become a better friend. But the door's always open. That's what made sense to me. Because, like, I'm realizing, you know, Myron did say female friends are useless. And it's something that's been growing on me. It's like, the more I look at just the, you know, the value of female friends. Another video by this other brother, he calls himself, I forgot his name, right? But White Brother. He teaches game. He was talking about in any friendships, or basically male friendships, right? You guys both bring value to the table, so you guys, there's an equal exchange to a certain point, right? So with all my male friends, I can 100% agree. Like, there's an exchange, whether it's knowledge, whether it's resources, whether it's just being thoughtful for the brother. But with females, they also have an exchange, but their relationships, their friendships are based on mostly emotional exchange. Whereas us, it's value based. Like, what are you what's tangible, right? So, saying that, guys often find themselves in a funny position because they don't get back the value that they give from the female friendship. So it's like basically they're being used. But then females don't see it like that, right? Because also with them, they have people come to them. It's not like us guys where we make it happen with a girl. The life we want, we have to build it from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? It's like everything we want, we have to go for it. Whereas, you know what I'm saying, females, mostly things come to them. So that's why it's so hard for them to also build friendships. And I have to say, like, I look back at this one girl, actually, I don't wanna, but I'm just gonna say R, right? She talked about, oh, you know what, I never had to make friends. With me, it flows. Like, if you so happen to come in my life, and it flows. And also with this other female, right, she was saying, I've never had to make friends because all my friends are like close. It's either church or here. So she never had to make friends. And I'm seeing it's such a flaw because as a guy, obviously you do make friends based off your surroundings, right? But like you get to a certain point, you want a certain quality of friends. So obviously you work on yourself. And to the brothers who also bring value, you bring value to them, right? What can you do for them? How can you be a solid brother? But you go out your way. Whereas with females, they've never had to really go out their way, whether it's approaching a guy or making friends, right? So it's like for them, it's harder to treat you how you're supposed to because it comes easy to them, right? They don't know the value. And that's what I've also, just to rant, that's what I've seen with money. Like, people who are born rich, also with me to a certain extent, right? I'm not rich, but like, you don't really see the value of money. So, for example, I was getting an allowance, right? Just being at home. And that money to me, it always felt like it wasn't enough, which it was, but it wasn't, right? Because we always want more. Once I started working, I could see that, you know what? It's actually, this money is valuable, right? Once you work for your money, you spend it less. It takes on a whole nother perspective, right? Rather than it being given to you. So anyways, my whole thing is now the law of being honest, right? It's like, as I said, what Myron said about female friends being useless is really growing on me because, man, them sisters are useless, man. I have to put it like that. And not only that, I feel like, there's the other brother I was talking about who's a white brother who teaches game. He was saying there's no platonic friendship. It's either one likes the other, or you know what I'm saying? It's like it's never just straight platonic. And I have to agree because it's like all the female friends I've had. Now I think of myself as an attractive brother, right? But like all of them, yeah, it's like this weird energy. It's like we're friends, but we're not friends. It's like now I had to honestly, it's like this, there's a certain sister, before we became friends, she has good qualities. So I was like, damn, like I'd like to make a girl like this my wife. Now, since we've been talking, interacting, that mindset is not even there, right? Like I don't look at her as a wife. But I'm thinking, even if I were to try and switch it, right? It's either one or the other, right? It's either she's like, you know what, nah, I just want to be friends. Then we stop being friends because the friendship is useless. Or, you know what I'm saying? I switch to, yeah, I'm trying to get with you and it works out. But like now that I'm in the friend zone, it's actually harder. It's only easier for girls because, and then again, it's also not that easy because, now that I am friends with her, and if she does confess, like, I like you, I'm at that point where it's like, I don't like you like that. So, it's just like a tricky place to be in. But anyways, yeah, assessing these female friends, man, like, like I've gotten to a point, it's like, I don't want to interact with women unless I need to, right? It's either strictly professional, but professionals, like, you can make conversation, whatever, or I'm interested in women, I want to get to know you. I don't want to have friends no more because, and don't get me wrong, there's been friends that have done amazing things for me, right? Female friends. But then it always feels like there's a underlying factor. It's like they have emotions. They like me to a certain point. They get jealous when I mention other girls. They do the bare minimum. And, like with female friends, because us guys spend the money, right? We understand the value more of money because it's normally the other way around. Girls get taken out. So that's why, as guys, I believe you should always try do something as low investment as possible when you're first getting to know a girl. Because what has happened to me is, I've taken female friends out and I've spent a lot of money, which I won't blame them, right? Because of the situation or whatever, I felt like, even though like I was prepared to spend a little bit, I was like, you know what? This is the situation I'm in. I'll spend more money. And it really doesn't hurt me, right? Because I wasn't expecting something for my money. But like you just spend money and you get to looking back on some, hey, that's a waste, like that's honestly how you feel. So it's like, now that you spend money on your female friends and they just don't see it, right? It's like, hey man, you see, like I have a big problem with girls, still love them, sisters. But yeah, like female friends, nah, not for me. Like, unless you're willing to put in that value. And I'm going to call you out. Like, if you want to be a friend of mine, I'm going to hold you to a certain standard. Or otherwise, kick rocks. It's like, because there's literally no use. If you're properly in the friend zone, you're never going to get a piece of pussy. It doesn't work like that, right? Excuse my language. But like, you're never gonna kiss her, you're never gonna abuse her intimately. You can wait for that chance for years. But yeah, such a low chance, man. And then again, female friends, they wanna do the bare minimum, like, and still expect the most. Like, no ways. I won't allow myself to get played. But yeah, like, it's funny enough, when you just start, let me bring it back to the topic. When you just start obeying God, right? He just brings order to your life, because that's what I see every time I'm drawing closer to God. I'm getting rid of what I shouldn't do, all my sins. I'm repenting. I start having self-respect, and that leads me to cut off all the unnecessary people in my life. I just want to talk about also, this phone might get hot because it's in the sun, but like a situation that happened today, right? Me and this girl. So this girl, to sum it up, right, in my perspective, she was into me. I wasn't into her. Okay, we became friends. She continued doing, I won't say the most, but she did a lot for me, right? Not as much as she could have done though. But that's me being like judgmental of her. But anyways, like, I feel like she did a lot for me out of just being friends with me. And I feel like because it came from a place of she liked me, she was just adding to my life. Like, even though I did reject her, I felt like, because I'm always gonna look for those who are looking for me. So I was like, you know what? If push comes to shove, I'm going to look at her as potential, even though I don't want to be with her, right? Then a couple of things happened where I was like, okay, you know what? Now I'm never going to actually be with her. She doesn't have a chance. Fast forward to today. What happens is she gave me a gift on my birthday. And then she was like, I'm going to give you something now, and don't worry, month end, I got you as well. So today is month end. Another girl, her co-worker, another friend of mine, right? I actually like her because she's always kept it cool. Like, that's someone I'd consider a friend. Even though I feel like she also has, they said she's had feelings for me. She's like, she's always kept it clean, no drama, no. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, so her friend, I'm gonna name her K. K gets me a gift, right? So I'm like to her, who I'm gonna name F. I'm like to F, our F, remember you said you also wanna get me a gift. Then F is like, yeah, I did say month end. I was like, yeah, today is month end. Then she's like, yeah, and so? I was like, what do you mean? And so it's like, now I can't trust your word because you said you're going to get me a gift and now where the gift at? She's like, oh, but what did she say, man? Oh, but when I had said that, I expected you to understand, like, you know what, I haven't even gone shopping. I haven't, gotten the gift. So I was like, but then you're breaking your word because you said month end you're gonna give me a gift. And this time I didn't even want the gift. It just came to mind, right? Then she's like, nah, but then, yeah, then she started playing this whole, no, but actually I said month end. And what I meant like that is, I thought you were gonna use your brains. That's one of the things she said before I just walked off, right? She's like, I thought you're also gonna just use your brains as a logical person when I said month end and understand that I'll have the gift for you. Just hold this whole BS, you know what I'm saying, of a conversation because she didn't keep her word. So then I leave, after she tried, like flipping it back on me. That's girls for you. I even asked her, where's the accountability? So I leave and she gets to seeing me. Then obviously I ignore her. Then she's trying to talk to me like, I'm too doozy. I'm like, these females, man, like, it's like, nah, like, I don't want to deal no more with this friend drama. Like, nah, y'all can keep it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's either I'm really dealing with girls. It's either, I want you. Let's go out. Let's go on dates. Yeah, I want you sexually, and I'm considering you for marriage. Or it's like, nah, like, I don't do female friends because it's really just BS. But I still do have female friends, you know what I'm saying? Some of them, maybe one or two, like or 100. The rest, we don't even speak, and it's better that way, right? But yeah, every time I return to God's laws, everything comes right? There's order in my life. When I start always, bathing, which you should do daily, but when you bath every day, you brush your teeth twice a day, you drink a lot of water, you avoid all the sodas, the bad foods, right? All the sugary sweets. Your life starts coming in order, right? Every time you have the hard conversations, you don't bear false witness. Yes, a lot of people might fall off, but your life moves in order. When it comes to money, every time for me, right? Every time I'm not spending my money recklessly, I'm buying what needs to be bought. I'm buying needs, right? Like now, I just bought a phone cover. Think about how often you buy a phone cover. It's like once, you can buy it once a year, right? If it lasts you that long. But yeah, like you just buy what you need to buy. I see a lot of brothers, they always ask me for money, right? Probably because I look rich. But then again, there's a specific brother who had asked me for money. This time he's smoking a cigarette. He damn near looked drunk, and he's the security guard. And I ended up not giving him money, which I feel like it was against the law because God says, give to those who ask of you, right? And if you feel like you shouldn't, obviously pray about it. But like, I was looking at the brother and I'm thinking, you know what? In reality, you're earning such a small salary, right? Bare minimum, unfortunately, for security guards. I can't judge you for smoking or drinking, but here you are. I believe you're drunk, you're smoking, and now you're asking me for help. It's like, it's really true when God says, seek first the kingdom and all these things shall be added. Like, if, but obviously this is hypothetical. If, he put down the alcohol, he tried his best to stop smoking cigarettes, he started saving money, becoming a better person. This is the same brother, if I'm not wrong, I borrowed him money and he ran off with it, right? Never paid me back. And here he was asking me again, he forgot. if you become a better person, more integrity, how can things not come right for you? People start trusting you, like, for me, I'm not rich, right? But like, I've always stood on the fact that if someone does right by me, if I win the lottery, I wouldn't even mind sharing it in half with them, right? That's my mentality. Like, if you really been a solid person, no funniness about you, I wouldn't mind even giving you like a whole million, or sharing it how I'm saying, even literally share half of this of the lottery winnings with you, right? Obviously, I don't play lotto, but if you can get the analogy. But like, people out here ain't straight. Like, I also had, this one was a sad situation, but I had a brother who, we've been close for the longest time, asked me for money. But like, I felt like the relationship was shaky for me to give him money. And on top of that, right, I'm just putting down the window. On top of that, I had asked the brother, like what can I get, like, for you? What security can I get that if you don't pay me back, I can keep it? Because firstly, this brother, we used to stay in the same complex. He left without telling us. I texted him on some, oh dog, I see your house empty, what's going on? He's like, yeah dog, I moved. Which, he had his own reasons for not telling me. But in my perspective, how can I trust you? I don't know where you live now. You want to borrow a large sum of money. You know what I'm saying? It's like, there's no order in that. You know what I'm saying? This brother, not to call him out, but he gave a loan to another brother. Now he wants to take a loan from me to cover that, not, okay, what can I say? He allowed a brother to, he loaned money to a brother, right? To another brother. Now he wants me to borrow him money, so, because he's low on cash, so he can do what he needs to do. I'm like, and he was still talking like he's gonna loan this guy money. So I'm like, don't loan him. But then again, he's also in a tricky situation there. But you see, for me, it's like, when I take a step back, and not to be judgmental, but it's like, there's really no order. Yeah, on top of it, when I ask him, like, how am I guaranteed you're gonna pay? Because here you are, I don't know, you lived, you've upped and left, our relationship is shaky. Then he's like, nah, I bought a whole studio worth a certain amount. I'm like, I'm a rapper too, right? I'm a rapper. Such a big purchase. Why have you kept it on the low? So you see, for me, it's like, when I really look at the brother's character, I'm like, I can't lend you money. You know what I'm saying? So like, not to judge, right? Like, obviously every matter is different, but like, I truly believe in a return to God's law, because once you do things God's way, everything works out for you, right? If every time you borrow money, if you have to get to that point, like, the word says you'll be the lender and not the borrower. And I truly am the lender, right? So I look at all my brothers who believe in the Lord and are still borrowers. I'm like, what's going on? There's something you're not doing right. Anyway, if you have to borrow money, make sure you pay back. Make sure there's no funniness in your ways. Let me talk about this other lady at work, right? Her red flag is she started borrowing money early on, right? And not to talk about the good things I've done, but like, just to show you guys, she started borrowing money from me. You know what I'm saying? I borrowed her, kept borrowing, kept lending to her. The last time I borrowed her money, maybe she took it like today, because today is a Wednesday. She's like, I'll get it back to you Friday. Matter of fact, that same week. Friday comes, I had even forgotten, because there's also a scripture in the Bible that talks about give not expecting back, and God will bless you, somewhere on the lines of that. So I just gave it to her. I was like, okay, I've given her money before, But I also know that people do this where they borrow, pay back, then they just stop paying back, right? Anyways, gave her money. Friday comes, I had forgotten. But at the end of the day, when I had knocked off, I remembered that, oh, she owes me money. I haven't seen her around. I was like, okay, never mind, keep it pushing, right? I gave enough money where it really didn't matter, it really didn't hurt me. Next week comes, nowhere to be found. I saw her like funny now. I saw her like next week Friday, right? Next week Friday, I see her. Then she's like, oh yeah, don't worry, I still remember. You must come fetch your money. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I could see she's trying to run away. Reminds me of another story. But anyways, yeah. So I know she said I must come when I knock off at work. I knock off at work, and like I see her from a distance. And you know what I'm saying? Even though we have to respect our elders, why is it that I have to come up to you when I borrowed you money? So she was just chilling there. I came up to her, you know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, I dropped my things off in the car. I went back to her. She's like, oh, here's your money. I had to borrow from someone else just so I can pay you. You know I've got you, my boy. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So then she's like, I'll give you something for cold drink, right? Which she did. But at the end of the day, like, I'm never borrowing her money again because of the whole experience, you know. So that's the thing. It's like, if you're gonna borrow money, do it the way God would want you. Pay back. Let the person know. Keep them updated. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, here I have this amount I don't have. Don't just be, you know, like, but that's what I've always seen, especially with people who borrow money. The fact that you just have to borrow money, it shows that you're not right inside. Now, obviously, this doesn't count for everyone, but this is a general rule. The fact that you just have to borrow money, it means that your life is not in order. There's another, I just want to talk about this situation to just decipher them for you guys, right? There's another brother. I had went to a certain mall. I'm in the bathroom now. I greet him. He greets me back. He's a cleaner. We get to talking. I regretted greeting him because just as I got out the bathroom, he was on some, can I have 20 rand for transport? I'm like, my dog, you know what I'm saying? And listen, oh, now I'm just checking some now. But look, he's older than me, right? He's a cleaner. 20 rand for transport. I'm like, it's the end of the month. Didn't you just get paid, right? Because, you know, now I never wanted to question people because I don't really care, right? And it's not up to me to question them. Obviously, it's my money. I have to be responsible of how I give it out. But it's really God's money, right? And if someone wants to borrow it, like, I should be able to borrow it to them without any conversation. But like, what I've started seeing is people lie a lot. Anyways, I'm like to him, it's 31st, didn't you just get paid? He's like, oh, things are tough. I live in Val, you know how much it is to catch a taxi, blah blah blah. Yeah, so anyways, I'm like, okay, give me, I think he asked for 15 rand because I was like, give me 5 rand, then I'll give you 20. He's like, it can happen. I'm like, yeah, where's the money? Because I'm going now, because he caught me in the bathroom. Then he finally gives me the 5 rand I gave him. I'm just like, brothers are full of BS, right? Like, just the most stupid excuses. I had another brother come up to me. He was on some ish. And I regretted him. I also used to, he's a security guard by a certain store. I just used to greet him nicely. Next thing, Caesar, please help me. I don't have lunch. I'm like, there's no ways you came to work without lunch, and it must have been beginning of the month. So I'm just like, you know what, brothers, general rule is if they're asking for money, their life isn't right, their life isn't orderly. I'm telling you guys. There's another brother. Oh yeah, wait. I was thinking of a certain story when I was talking about that lady from work. There's a brother the other day I'm at the mall. He's like to me, can I please get 10 rand? I want to take a taxi to Malville, right? So the whole time he's asking me, he's looking jumpy, he's looking around. I'm like, you know what? I've got it. Let me give it to him. I give him the money. This brother, right? I get to walking around the mall. I was there to buy things, so I was looking at different stores to see like, do they have sales on the items I want to buy, whatever, right? Get to walking quite a long time. I go, now I'm going to Pick n Pay, right? I see him is sitting on the bench. When I'm approaching, I'm looking at him. He's looking so nervous. He didn't even know what to do with himself. He's like, he tried to like, if he could hide, not that he would have, right? But like, yeah, like he's looking so nervous. Then he looks at me, finally gives me like a. I'm just like, you know what? I didn't tell him to. I didn't say it to him, but I was like, you know what? You're gonna get hurt one of these days, trying to play these games you're playing. I'm telling you, like people that ask for money, their lives are not orderly. I'm telling you, I can stand on it, right? General principle. Anyways, like if you were to return to God's laws, you'd have order in your life, and not just order, progression. You know, like I believe I'm trusted with money, right? Even when it comes to my family, right? Like I am trusted with money, and because I'm trusted with money because I am so honest about it, right? Like I've got a lot of money. I don't know. I don't want to talk about myself, but I won't spend it because it's not mine, right? I understand if money is not mine, it's not mine. If I borrow money, which I haven't borrowed in the longest, guys, I've been living in abundance. All praises to God. But if I borrow, you have to pay back, update the person. Don't be no, like no, this this fickle person. It's time to pay back. Yeah, just be honest. Like now I'm honest with what I spend my money on, right? I write it down. So I see that, okay, you know what, to do in this area, you're spending too much on this and you don't need that. You're spending too much on clothes, you have more than enough. Invest in another part of your life, right? Just be honest with yourself. And this comes from God's laws. Like, I've had so much success. And when I say success, I've been able to maintain a lot of female friendships because I really live by the principle of, you know what, if I'm your friend, I'm not into you sexually. I'm never gonna try anything. You're never gonna Mduduzi was low key one day. There's no call Mduduzi right now and tell him you want to sleep with him. He's gonna fold. I'm never folding. You know what I'm saying? It's like if I'm keeping it strictly platonic, things are strictly platonic. So, and that's just like living by the rule of do not commit adultery for me, right? A lot of brothers' wives, right? A lot of wives I'm attracted to, but like I know that nothing can ever come of it. So there's no talking to her in a certain way. If she does advance at me, right? Because I'm a pretty attractive guy. You know, it's all about letting her know that now we can't do this. Or just, you know what I'm saying, keeping your distance, not giving in to temptation. Every time you follow God's law, there's order in your life. Just also the law of not buying what you don't need, right? Like, I feel like a lot of people buy what they don't need. when it comes to perfumes. Like, I feel like I could take the money I have and go buy a cologne for almost 2,000, but I really don't need it. Like, and now I understand people. There's one line from this song. I'm not sure about the song or who rapped it, but he's like, you bought a chain before you bought a house. You're not doing it right, something like that. But it really makes sense. It's like, from a financial perspective, there's things you do and there's things you don't do. So a lot of people will tell you, don't try look rich, be rich, right? And basically for me, I had to, I won't say the hard way, but I understood what they mean. Like, yes, you guys see me in polo. I wear polo a lot, but like, really, there's no use in me buying this much polo when I'm still living at home with my parents. The priority is stand by yourself. And when you get to that certain point, then you can wear polo. There's no use in, like, can I say, buying, the most expensive shoes. Just having your priorities out of order. I was talking to Gazi, one of the brothers at work, right? That's his nickname. But basically, he was also just saying, is like, he runs with brothers who have proper jobs, they all have cars, but he doesn't put pressure on himself. He doesn't be like, okay, hey, because they've got this, I also have to have this. And I respect him for that, right? And that's also the law of covetousness. Do not covet. If someone has a nice car, good for them. Wait your turn. You know what I'm saying? Yes, at times you don't want to wait, you want to have it now, but wait your turn, right? There's no use. Like, I was looking at chains, right? And these chains ain't real. No cap. But like this chain, right? If you see this one, there was a chain like this, so only this without the pendant, right? Gold chain. A little bit obviously thicker. 9 carats. It was going for what, 60,000. There's no use in me going to buy that chain while I'm still living at home, no car. It's like your priorities are wrong. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, every time you follow God's laws, do not steal. Oh man, do not worship any other God before the Lord. Honor thy father and thy mother. Sabbath day, right? Rest a day out the week. Take a break, rest. Do not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. I feel like, for me, out of all the commandments, do not commit adultery, as well as thou shalt not bear false witness. Those are the ones I pay attention to the most. And it's like, it's even with committing adultery, it's like, if you look at watching porn, is also committing adultery. And if you just avoid these things, they save you so much time. You waste so much time, like, so much. Only brothers know, right? You waste so much time, committing adultery, or whether it's pursuing to sleep with women. The money you spend just to go on dates. And obviously, I feel like, even if you're looking for a wife, regardless, you're going to pay for dates. But it's different if you're trying to sleep with a woman. You might try and impress her. You might have to book a hotel. Or like, she's coming over, you have to buy drinks if you're a drinker. It's like, you waste so much, not obeying the laws of God. And my advice is, I see it for myself. Everything is to obey God's laws, and then order will come into your life, and order brings success. How can I not be successful if I'm saving my money right? I'm investing into the right things which are progressing my life. I'm only entertaining women who look out for me, as well as who I'm not just wanting to sleep with, but to actually build with. How am I going wrong if I'm only investing into friends and keeping it 100% true? How am I going wrong if I'm bathing, brushing my teeth, taking care of my hygiene, getting my hair cut like I'm supposed to? How am I not going to be successful if I keep it true with everyone? I don't steal. You know what? I speak the truth. I provide value. I don't look at anyone's wives. You know what I'm saying? I don't speak about people behind their back. How am I gonna fail if I'm taking risks as I should, right? Whether in business, trying to start my business, pursuing my passion, approaching the woman I want to be with. It's like, I feel like that's also just another law. You know what I'm saying? I don't know which law it is. But yeah, how are you gonna go wrong, brothers and sisters? How is there not gonna be order in your life where you're treating your girl like how you're supposed to treat her? You're not cheating on her. How's there not gonna be order in your life if you're not watching porn? You're maximizing your time. You're not eating bad. You're working out. I don't like. You have to win. You know what I'm saying? So like, this was a long video, but like always when you go back to God's laws, I'm talking about not drinking, not smoking. I still stand on that. Respecting yourself. You know what I'm saying? Standing firm through the hard times when you are tested. Being kind to everyone, right? Giving to everyone. How the Bible does say, give to everyone, every man that asks. Yes, if you give and they don't pay you back, yes, obviously the next time around, you don't give it to them. And that's what I'm saying. But like, how are you gonna go wrong? Like, it just doesn't make sense. If you have a credit card open, you pay always on time, how's your credit score not gonna go up? If you're spending the right amount of money, managing your money, this is the amount to do this, you're paying your tithes, you're giving offerings, you're giving to people, you're buying things, right? People recommend buying things with your passive income, but you're also buying sustainable things. It's like, for me, this polo t-shirt, yes, it might have cost a lot, but then again, the quality is gonna last a longer time than a t-shirt from maybe Pep, right? How are you gonna go wrong? Like, how are you not gonna be successful? Especially always having the hard conversations, holding people to a higher standard. It's like, brothers, let's return to God's laws. There's a verse before I end this. In Job, the book of Job, right? It says something on the lines of, they return to him, they repent of their sins and return to him, and they live out their days in prosperity. How is that not going to be our future if we're doing right? It just makes sense. It's like, no one can convince me otherwise. That's why it's like, seek first the kingdom, understand what a kingdom is, understand that you're in a kingdom, understand the role, right, you have to play. Seek first the kingdom of God and live righteously. It's the same thing, the kingdom coin. It's two sides of one coin. You have to seek first the kingdom and live righteously, and everything shall be added. Like, it's just so simple, man. It's like, see your boy, I'm out. Peace.